Hello everybody and welcome back. I'm doing a Morals in Children's Books series, and today I'm going to be reading It's Not Easy Being a Bunny. And then we'll talk about the moral of the story. If you haven't seen it already, in the Sanctuary, I read the rest of the Sneetches and Other Stories, which is the stories of the Zacks and Too Many Daves. On my public YouTube channel, I did the Sneetches and What Was I Scared Of, which are amazing, which you can go see for free, publicly posted on my YouTube channel. And then there was the Go Dogs Go that I just did. And, oh, ow. And now we're gonna do It's Not Easy Being a Bunny. All right. I love reading these and talking about the morals because I knew there was a moral in Go Dogs Go, and then I kind of lost it, and then I found it again because Go Dogs Go isn't quite as moral heavy as I thought it was, but the rest of these have really good stories, and even Go Dogs Go I pulled a good moral out of, so yeah. And I love it because these are the books that I grew up on. These are the books that taught me how to act in the world. And so the idea that Dr. Seuss got canceled, even though all of Dr. Seuss stories have really amazing morals, like don't judge somebody for the way they look, don't be stubborn, don't be unnecessarily stubborn, plan ahead, don't be scared of what you think you know, or don't be scared because you think you don't know, you know? In Go Dogs Go, being honest was the moral that I pulled out of that one. So I haven't read It's Not Easy Being a Bunny in a little while, but let's do it. And then we'll talk about how amazing it is. All right. It's Not Easy Being a Bunny. This one is by Marilyn Sadler and illustrated by Roger Bolin. PJ Funny Bunny was very sad. He did not like being a bunny. His mother made him eat cooked carrots every day. He had far too many brothers and sisters, and his ears were very big. One day, PJ decided to leave home. I don't want to be a bunny anymore, said PJ. I want to be a... bear. And PJ went to live with the bears. But when the bears went to sleep for the winter, PJ could not sleep at all. Living with the bears was not very exciting. So PJ said, I don't want to be a bear. I want to be a... bird. And PJ went to live with the birds. PJ liked being a bird until he tried to fly. So PJ said, I don't want to be a bear or a bird. I want to be a... beaver. And PJ went to live with the beavers. The beavers like to work very hard. PJ did not like to work at all. So PJ said, I don't want to be a bear or a bird or a beaver. I want to be a... pig. And PJ went to live with the pigs. But the only thing the pigs liked to do was sit in the mud. So PJ said, I don't want to be a bear or a bird or a beaver or a pig. I want to be a... I like how the animals slowly start to accumulate, watching PJ walk away. PJ's not so happy in the mud there. Moose. And PJ went to live with the moose. But PJ could not make good moose calls. So PJ said, I don't want to be a bear or a bird or a beaver or a pig or a moose. I want to be a... possum. So PJ went to live with the possums. The possums like to hang upside down, but hanging upside down gave PJ a headache. So PJ said, I don't want to be a bear or a bird or a beaver or a pig or a moose or a possum. I want to be a... skunk. And PJ went to live with the skunks. It did not take PJ very long to find out that he did not like living with the skunks. So PJ said, I don't want to be a bear or a bird or a beaver or a pig or a moose or a possum or most of all a skunk. What I really want to be is... that night, a bunny. So PJ hurried home. The funny bunnies were very happy to see him. PJ was very happy to see them. That night, PJ ate all of his cooked carrots and played with every one of his brothers and sisters. He was so happy to be a bunny again that he did not care that his ears were very big. At least everyone can see that I am a bunny, PJ said, and not a... bear, or a bird, or a beaver, or a pig, or a moose, or a possum, or a skunk. It's Not Easy Being a Bunny. It's a great story about learning to love yourself for who you are. And I think that's very important because what I've come to realize is that people like to make excuses and make exceptions for things. So you'll see people who will make fun of women who get boob jobs and facelifts and tell you all about how ugly they are. And yet they'll support people with gender dysphoria when it comes to them wanting to self-mutilate for the sake of outer perception. And these are the double standards that drive me bonkers. Because at the end of the day, really, I believe in to each their own. But what I know to be true is that when one can learn to love themselves wholeheartedly for who they are while cleaning up any trauma, old wounds, and limiting beliefs that they have, we can learn to love ourselves for exactly who we are, where we came from, without having to change anything. We take for granted. This is really what this book is about, is taking for granted all that we have. It's this grass is always greener syndrome that's going on in the world. And there was this woman who said something that really stood out to me, because it used to be that gender dysphoria only really affected boys and men. And we've had a massive influx of women experiencing gender dysphoria. And if you think about it, there used to be a lot more pressure on men when it came to having to work, bring home, money, to bring home, to be able to feed their family. And the women got to be at home. And I'm not saying that that's not got its challenges. But so what this woman said was, now that women are being pressured to be like men, who wouldn't want to opt out of all the pressures they feel are being imposed upon them? And so what happens is that with this grass is always greener on the other side thing, men are going, oh, well, it looks so much easier to be a woman, so I want to be a woman. And women look at it and go, oh, it's so much easier to be a man, so I want to be a man. But the thing is that you ask anybody from either side, they both have their equal amount of pressures. It's like people talk about the fact that there are rich people problems and poor people problems. And so we really have to ask ourselves. And I know my answer to this question. I personally don't believe that at the end of the day, change has to be painful and healing has to be hard. I believe that change can be easy when we let it. And pain, healing, sorry, I said that wrong. Change doesn't have to be painful and healing doesn't have to be hard. Change doesn't have to be painful. Change can be easy. Healing doesn't have to be hard. Healing can be easy. It really can. You just have to get excited about expanding and growing as a person rather than looking at it as there's something wrong with you. You've got to look at it from the perspective of, now I get to expand and grow. There's nothing wrong with me now. It's just now I get to be even better than I was. And when we can all jump on that bandwagon of there's nothing wrong with me now, I just get to even be better and better and better and better. Change isn't painful. Healing isn't hard. Or even when it's hard, it's not painful. So even when it's maybe harder than other things, it's not painful. So I want everybody to take the time to ask themselves, how are you looking at the world with the grass is greener on the other side outlook? And how can you start to recognize that you don't have to worry about what the grass look like? You don't. I saw this great meme and it was, I am not even looking at the grass on the other side because I'm too busy watering mine. Ask yourself, where are you looking at the grass on the other side and thinking it's greener when you could actually be improving that grass of your own? So, yeah. Anyway, thank you guys for joining me. May the energy you serve you well. Be brave, stay sane, stay curious, and be kinder to each other.